Have you ever had that persistent ringing or maybe a buzzing or hissing sound in your ears that nobody else seems to hear? Well, you're definitely not alone. We're talking about tinnitus, and it can be a really frustrating thing to deal with. So let's dive right in and explore what we know about what causes it, and more importantly, what can be done about it. And here's the thing, that sound is totally unique to you. As you can see, it's not always a simple ring. It could be buzzing, whistling, even swooshing. It's what's known as a phantom sound, meaning you're the only one who can hear it. And that's a huge part of the challenge, right? It's a very real feeling, even though it's being generated inside your own body. And just how common is this? Well, it's a pretty big deal. We're talking about 10 to 15% of the entire world's population. So if this is something you're going through, I really want you to know that millions and millions of other people are facing the exact same challenge. Okay, this next point is probably the single most important thing to get our heads around. Tinnitus isn't the actual disease. It's a symptom. It's like a warning light on your dashboard, signaling that something else is going on. And that one little fact, it changes everything. It means we stop just trying to silence the noise and start looking for the real root cause. So what are those root causes? Well, this is where things get really, really interesting. The reasons behind that ringing or buzzing are way more varied than you might think. Let's get into it. So, for the most part, we can split the main causes into two big categories. On one side, you've got physical, muscle-related problems. Think tension, tightness, that kind of thing. And on the other side, you've got something happening inside the brain itself, a neurological cause. So two totally different starting points for the exact same symptom. Let's dig into that first group, the muscle-related stuff. Sometimes this is called cervical tinnitus. And experts like Dr. Joe point to things like tight jaw muscles, maybe from grinding your teeth, or just that chronic tension we all hold in our neck and shoulders. You know what I'm talking about? Heck, even tiny muscle spasms in your middle ear can cause these sounds. It's all about physical stress in your head and neck. Now, let's flip to the other side of the coin, brain-related tinnitus. Dr. Cliff explains this as your brain literally creating a phantom sound. See, if you have some hearing loss, your brain stops getting certain sound signals it's used to. And what does it do? To make up for that silence, it just fills in the blank with its own noise. So in these cases, the sound isn't actually coming from your ear at all, it's starting in the brain. All right, so knowing the causes is one thing, but what we all really want to know is how to find relief. So let's pivot and start looking at solutions, beginning with some hands-on techniques you can even try yourself, especially for that muscle-related tinnitus. So if the problem is tight muscles, then it just makes sense that stretching could help, right? Our sources point to a few really great releases. You can try an upper trap stretch by gently pulling your head to the side. Then there's the levator stretch, where you pull your head diagonally down. And finally, chin tucks. These are just fantastic for resetting your posture and taking the pressure off the base of your skull.
Okay, now here's another really interesting physical technique. It sounds a little strange, but stick with me. You basically cover your ears and then use your fingers to tap on the back of your skull, creating this kind of drumming sound. The whole idea is to give your brain a new, different sound to focus on that can temporarily quiet down that internal tinnitus noise. A lot of people say it gives them immediate, even if it's just temporary, relief.
But what if your tinnitus is brain-related? Well, neck stretches aren't going to cut it. And that's where some truly cutting-edge medical technology is stepping in, offering some brand new hope by going straight to the source, the brain. The groundbreaking science behind this is called bimodal neuromodulation. Whoa, that's a mouthful, I know. But the concept is actually pretty brilliant. It just means stimulating two different parts of your nervous system at the exact same time. So you're listening to specific sounds through headphones while at the same time feeling these gentle electrical pulses on your tongue. The whole point is to get the brain's attention and basically retrain it. And get this isn't some sci-fi theory for the future. It's happening right now. A device called Linear just got FDA approval, and it uses this exact technology. And honestly, the results from the clinical trials are making everyone in the field sit up and take notice. So let's talk numbers. In the first major clinical trial for Linear, a whopping 86.2% of the people who stuck with the treatment plan saw their tinnitus symptoms improve. I mean, wow. In the world of medical studies, that is a huge, huge success rate. But wait, it actually gets even better. in a second trial, the results were even more incredible. This time, 95% of the compliant participants felt a reduction in their symptoms. We're talking 19 out of every 20 people found relief. That level of success is it's a game changer.
Okay, so that's great, but the big question is always, does it last? And this chart answers that with a resounding yes. A full year after they finished their treatment, the vast majority of people, you can see it right there in the bars for both trials, were still feeling the benefits. This is not a temporary fix. We're talking about a sustained, long-term improvement.
So we've covered physical fixes and high-tech medical devices, but there is a third path to consider: alternative approaches. This route is really all about natural wellness, and it often pulls from some pretty ancient traditions. This approach really focuses on using natural and herbal support. A lot of its ideas are inspired by holistic systems you might have heard of, like Ayurveda or traditional Chinese medicine, which tend to look at the body as one interconnected system. Following this kind of philosophy, some proponents, like Willie Crawford, recommend dietary supplements. One example he gives is a product called Quietum, which is a blend of various herbs and vitamins designed to support your overall auditory health. Okay, let's take a breath. We have covered a lot of ground here, from muscles to brains, from stretches to high-tech devices to supplements. So how do we tie this all together and figure out a clear path forward? Let's just simplify everything we've talked about. This table breaks it down so nicely. You've got three main paths. You've got physical techniques, which are all about releasing muscle tension. You've got medical technology, which is focused on retraining the brain. And you have alternative approaches, using natural support. Three very different ideas for tackling the exact same problem.
So if there's just one thing you take away from all of this, let it be this. If you were dealing with tinnitus, the outlook has totally changed. Whether your solution is in physical therapy, incredible neurotechnology, or natural wellness, there are more real, effective options available right now than ever before in history. There is absolutely a reason to be hopeful. And that really brings us to the final question, doesn't it? With this deeper understanding of all the different causes and this growing toolbox of solutions, the power is really shifting. It's not about just learning to live with it anymore. It's about taking action. So the only real question left is, where will you start?